Listen up, maggots. Today you will be enlightened about what TF2 would look like if it had ultimates. And if you haven't guessed already, this is about the red, white, and blue-blooded soldier.
Hoo-rah!
Real quick, let's go back over some things from the last video. These are ultimates gained from doing a certain amount of damage or healing over the course of a match. And since soldier is an offensive class, these ultimates enhance combat potential. Dismissed!
Idea 1. The Super Soldier. Concocted in the secret lab of Dr. Grodbort, the super serum was never supposed to see the light of day. But the fateful spacecraft that brought game-changing weapons like the Thompson and Bison carried this special cargo into the hands of the soldier. What could have possibly compelled him to drink this glowing liquid? We'll never know. But from that day onwards, the Super Soldier was born. Possessing the strength of 2.5 men, a speed of 240 hammer units a second, and the mental constitution of a toddler and his baby sister combined, he is a force to be reckoned with. This ultimate would enhance soldiers' physical capabilities and bring them to another level. Activating this ability would increase his movement speed equivalent to a pyro, which is a 25% speed boost, and his melee swings will always be mini-crit boosted for its duration. His boosted reaction time also gives him a plus 50% reload speed buff. The serum has also increased the toughness of his skin, giving a 100% critical damage reduction and a 40% damage resistance. Some of you are probably thinking, aren't those just the banner effects? Well, yeah. But the concept of ultimates from dealing damage already steps on the toes of the banners already. Would running a banner on soldier with this ultimate be broken? Probably, but ultimates are supposed to provide a massive advantage to win a fight. It's also important to note that the banners apply to all teammates, and the ult provides no such team benefit. You selfish prick! Idea 2. Major Pain. Canonically, Soldier bought himself a plane ticket to Poland to help the American war effort to fight fascism. We also know he didn't stop killing over there until 1949. It's also important to understand that he was rejected from every branch of the armed forces, so he's got no official rank. But just listen to these awards.
I have been awarded the Purple Heart, the Orange Star, the Green Clover, the Blue Diamond, and the Big Golden Army Ball of Bravery.
That's why I'm pleased to give him the honorary title of Major. Major Pain, as in that's what he's going to deliver. This ultimate allows Soldier to muster the command presence of a drill sergeant and rally his troops. When he activates it, any teammate within a circle radius gains a base increase of 15% to damage dealt and 15% to damage resistance. Soldier gains these buffs, but they start at 25%. 10% of the damage that Soldier deals will be returned as healing to the players inside the area of effect. This can overheal teammates if they're already at full health. For example, if Soldier deals 100 damage with a rocket, everyone around, including him, heals for 10 health. Now here's where it gets interesting. Every different teammate affected by this buff at some point during its duration adds to a counter. For each unique teammate, all the buffs increase by 3% linearly, capping out at 30% for 10 total teammates. It's also worth noting every teammate extends the duration of the ult by half a second. How likely is it you and 10 other teammates will be able to coordinate? Unlikely, but anything that encourages teamwork is welcome in this game. The total buff with a maxed out counter for teammates would be a 45% increase in damage, 45% damage reduction, and 40% of damage done by Soldier being returned as health. For Soldier himself, it'd be 55% damage increase and resistance. This sounds pretty busted, but as some consolation for the enemy team, the buff disappears instantly on teammates when they leave Soldier's aura. This could also work pretty well by ulting by yourself, but obviously you'd want teammates around for the extra buff it gives you. I think roaming soldiers can move fast enough to pop this ult near their team and then dive bomb the enemy for a quick pick or two and still get good value. Idea 3. You know the drill. The last idea goes crazy with it. The sky is the limit. This ultimate is dynamic based on the current territory the soldier is in. What does that mean? Well, take a look at maps with control points on it. On attack-defend maps, every time blue caps a point, their territory expands. Conversely, the red territory shrinks. Spawns are moved back and forth depending on the flow. The payload acts the same way. What I'm trying to get at is that there's red ground, blue ground, and neutral ground that each team is trying to maintain control over. Depending on which one of these spaces Soldier is in, different ult effects are applied. Since that concept has been clarified, now we can get into the ult. To start off, all damage fall-off is removed for primaries and secondaries, and an improved version of the base jumper is equipped automatically that can reopen multiple times and carry horizontal momentum, albeit reduced. He also gains passive reloading for all of his weapons. When the soldier is in a defensive position, such as trying to keep blasts from being capped, his rocket launcher gains an alternate fire ability that launches rockets that deal half damage but deal 3 times the knockback. Rocket jumping with these alternate shots deals no self-damage and propels you with the same 3 times momentum. He can fire one of these every second and they do not need to be reloaded or draw from existing ammo. This could be best utilized to knock the enemy team off your control point or to disrupt them from pushing forward as a group. If you're skilled enough, this could also set you and your team up for crazy air shots, not to mention the destruction you can cause if you knock someone into a sentry. When the soldier's in an offensive position, like pushing into the area of a control point, his rocket launcher gains an alternate fire that applies an effect that pulls enemies in, but only does 25% of regular rocket damage. Just like the defensive one, it can fire every second. However, instead of sending the enemy to space, this pulls them towards where the special rocket was fired. Rocket jumping with them doesn't give you the extra height and momentum, but it does boost the next 2 rockets with mini crit damage. This allows you to set up huge plays for yourself where you launch yourself in the air and drop the most devastating 1-2 combo since Mike Tyson roamed the ring. Finally, in the occurrence that soldier activates his ultimate when the point is actively being contested, he gains 25% movement, firing, and reload speed. All damage dealt by him is returned as health. Dealing damage adds points to a meter that resets after it reaches 500. After that's been reached, the soldier can alternate fire to release a guaranteed critical rocket. To keep the playing field fair, there's a small delay where the weapon glows crit boosts to give the enemy gamers a chance to get the heck out of there. Only 3 critical rockets can be stored at one time, and there's no benefit to rocket jumping with one. This ultimate tries to throw a wild card into the outcome of the match and turns the soldier into a juggernaut that could potentially wipe half the enemy team by himself. Thanks for watching the second Ultimates episode and supporting the first one so much. I tried to get a little more creative this time around after seeing some of the impressive ideas commenters left on the last one. Have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.